The lights were blinding, the music was loud, and hundreds of fans were screaming his name, Can. Can. But even in the chaos, even in the sea of flashing lights and waving hands, his eyes weren't on the cameras or the crowd. They were searching for someone. That night, Yaman wasn't just attending another glamorous event. He was looking for her, for the one person who changed his life forever. The event took place in Milan, a city that had become almost like a second home to him. Dressed in a tailored black suit, his hair perfectly styled, Can looked every bit the international star. But behind the confident smile and the charming poses, there was something different, a quiet tension, a restlessness that only those who truly knew him could see. He kept scanning the crowd as if expecting to find a familiar face hidden among the flashing cameras. For those who followed Yaman for years, they knew what, or rather, who, he was searching for. Demet Özdemir. The woman with whom he had shared not just one of Turkey's most beloved TV romances, but also something deeper, something that went far beyond the scripts of her Kensi Kuss. It had been years since they last appeared together in public. The rumors had never stopped, whispers of secret calls, unspoken feelings, chance meetings in Rome or Istanbul. Yet, nothing was ever confirmed. Both had moved forward in their careers, pretending to live different lives. But fans knew the truth, the connection between them had never really faded. That night, everything felt different. Ken had just returned from a long shoot, and he seemed tired but emotionally charged. The press described it as one of his most intense public appearances. When he walked onto the stage, the crowd went wild. But instead of his usual calm and composed demeanor, there was an edge to him, his gaze moving from one side to another, as though searching desperately for someone he couldn't see. A journalist later revealed that before the event started, Ken had asked quietly, "Is she coming tonight?" Nobody needed to ask who she was. Those around him exchanged silent glances. He had said it softly, almost to himself, but with a tone that revealed years of longing. During the event, he smiled, he posed, he greeted the fans, but every now and then, his expression shifted. His eyes wandered into the audience, focusing on someone or something invisible to everyone else. And then, for a brief second, his face changed completely, as if he had seen her. A woman in the crowd, with long dark hair, wearing a simple white dress, caught his attention. For a moment, the world seemed to stop. Ken froze. The cameras kept flashing, but he didn't move. Those close to the stage said his expression was unlike anything they had seen before: shock, nostalgia, and something close to heartbreak. It wasn't her. But for that 1 second, he believed it was. Later, in a quiet backstage corner, a journalist asked him if something was wrong. He smiled politely but avoided the question. "Sometimes," he said, "you look for something you already lost, just to feel close to it again." That single sentence was enough to break the internet. Fans flooded social media with emotional messages. "He's still in love," one user wrote. Another commented, "The way he looked for her, it's like he still hopes she'll appear one day." In the following days, clips from that night went viral. A short video of Ken scanning the crowd with teary eyes received millions of views. People slowed it down, analyzed every frame, wondering what he was thinking, what he was feeling. Some said it was guilt. Others said it was love. But everyone agreed, it was real. Behind that powerful presence is a man who once loved deeply and lost painfully. Insiders close to him revealed that there are moments, especially during events, when a song, a voice, or even a perfume in the air brings everything back. "He doesn't talk about it," said one close friend, "but you can see it in his eyes." He never really moved on. Months earlier, Demet Özdemir had also opened up during an interview, saying, "Some people leave, but their memory never does." It wasn't a direct mention of Can, but everyone connected the dots. Fans believe both of them still carry invisible scars from a love story that ended too soon, or perhaps never really ended at all. Ken once said in an old interview, "I don't believe in perfect love, but I believe in unforgettable ones." That line became prophetic. Because what he had with Demet wasn't perfect, it was messy, passionate, full of intensity, but it was unforgettable. That night in Milan, after the event ended, witnesses say Can stayed long after everyone left. He sat quietly near the exit, avoiding the spotlight, looking at the now empty seats where fans had been moments before. He seemed lost in thought, as if replaying something in his mind, a scene, a conversation, a goodbye. When someone asked him if he wanted to head out, he simply replied, "Just give me a moment." That moment stretched into several minutes of silence, broken only by the faint echoes of the night's music. Then, he stood up, smiled faintly, and whispered something that one of his team members later repeated to the press, "If I ever see her again, I'll know it's time." Nobody knew exactly what he meant, but it was enough to reignite the fire of speculation. Did he mean it was time to talk? To reconcile? To finally close the chapter? Fans debated for weeks. Later, when he was asked directly about Demet, he didn't deny anything. He simply said, "Some stories don't need an ending." That sentence alone became one of the most quoted lines on social media. Fans wrote it under his posts, under Demet's photos, turning it into a symbol of their shared history. The world had always seen Yaman as the confident heartthrob, the man who could charm anyone. But that night showed something else, vulnerability. For the first time in a long time, the audience saw the real man behind the fame, someone who still looked for a face he once loved, even when surrounded by thousands. And that's what made the moment so powerful. It wasn't staged. It wasn't part of a promotion or a scripted act. It was a glimpse into his soul, raw, honest, unfiltered. After returning home, sources say he stayed offline for several days. He wasn't seen in public, didn't post anything on social media. When he finally did, it was a single black and white photo of him looking out a window, with the caption, "Some things the heart remembers, even when the mind forgets." That post alone received over 2 million likes in less than 24 hours. Fans flooded the comments with broken hearts, praying that somehow, someday, he and Demet would meet again. What makes this story even more emotional is how both of them have grown, professionally and personally, yet still seem connected by invisible threads. She's living her life, exploring new roles, new beginnings. He's conquering Europe, diving into international projects. And yet, whenever one speaks, the other's shadow lingers nearby. People often say time heals everything. But for Yaman, time hasn't erased, it has only deepened the silence between two souls who once understood each other without words. That night in Milan reminded everyone that behind the fame, behind the carefully curated images, there is a human being who still feels, still remembers, still searches. And when he looked for her in that crowd, even if only for a fleeting second, the world saw it too. Because that kind of longing, that kind of emotion, cannot be faked. It's real. It's love in its most fragile form. As one fan perfectly wrote online, he wasn't looking for her with his eyes, he was looking for her with his heart. And maybe that's why what he did next. Stopping, freezing, and smiling faintly at a face he thought was hers, broke millions of hearts around the world. It wasn't about recognition. It was about remembrance. Because sometimes, even when love is gone, the heart still remembers the crowd where it once found her. And that's why, on that unforgettable night, when Yaman looked for her in the crowd, the whole world stopped and felt it with him.